taxes, jobs, and the economy. Three of the biggest issues are in the hands of President Obama right now. Representative Debbie Wasserman Schultz of Florida, a Democrat with us, and Republican Representative Shelley Moore Capito of West Virginia, both going to weigh in this morning, a day after the president's town hall event. And the first issue we would like to cover is the countdown to the expiration of the Bush tax cuts. Here's what the president had to say yesterday in the town hall special.
I can't give tax cuts to the top 2% of Americans. 86% of that money going to people making $1 million or more, and lower the deficit at the same time.
Well, in fact, you can't extend them for anyone without increasing the deficit by at least a couple $1 trillion over the next 10 years. Representative Wasserman Schultz, should we extend them or not?
Well, what we need to remember is that any tax cuts, any tax cut extension focuses on all the people who were covered by the Bush tax cuts, but the tax cuts that we're proposing to expire are only on people who are making more than $250,000 a year, but on the income above that. Everyone gets a tax break under our proposal, but people who make more than $250,000 would no longer get a tax break on the income over that. And so what we'd like to do is extend the tax cuts that focus on the middle class and working families and small business. Let those tax cuts expire for the income over $250,000. And we think that's a reasonable approach, strikes the right balance, and doesn't impact the deficit unnecessarily.
Okay, and that does add by 2020 $2 trillion in deficits, the president's proposal. Representative Capito, what about your view on this? Do you think we should extend them for everyone, which adds $4 trillion in debt by 2020?
I do believe that we need to extend tax relief, because what my colleagues has not mentioned is that half of small business income falls within this tax bracket. Small businesses are the job creators. They're the folks that are trying to get that economic engine moving across this country. And I don't believe now is this time where we have great uncertainty, lack of confidence, lack of job creation, that we're going to slam the job creators with a raise in their taxes. What's wrong with the philosophy that those out in the country have a better idea of how to spend their money and how to create jobs, how to hire people, to make sure that they've got their confidence that in this economy that we can move forward? And so I don't think now's the time to put a burden on any taxpayer.
Ma'am, do you have assurances from the rich that they will hire if the tax cuts are extended? Is there any guarantee that they will hire at all, ma'am? The answer is no. There's no guarantee they're going to hire.
That's right.
Well, but if they don't have if the small businesses don't have the money, they can hire. And so, you know, I think that to say, do you have a guarantee that they're going to hire? They're not hiring now. We have 9.6% unemployment.
Right. And they have the tax cut now. That's the only thing. They've had it over the past decade.
But they don't have the confidence. They don't have the confidence that they're going to move forward next year and not get slammed with health care reform, taxes, energy taxes, and income taxes.
Ms. Wasserman Schultz, what about this? Because, you know, it has great intuitive appeal. That this argument that you don't want to raise taxes on anybody when the economy is so fragile, so to speak. I don't know whether it's right or wrong, but it does have great intuitive appeal. What's your response?
Well, my response is this, is that what we're trying to do, what President Obama and Democrats are trying to do, is strike the right balance between focusing on deficit reduction, because my good friend Shelley Moore Capito, I know, also talks about the importance of shrinking the deficit. We agree with that. We shouldn't be adding the $700 billion to the deficit that the extension of those tax cuts for the top 2% of earners would provide. What we need to do is get that money into the hands of small business owners. The small business jobs bill that President Obama is about to sign, it gives 8 additional tax breaks to small businesses, and that's the balance that we need to strike, as opposed to just, you know, painting a broad brush, giving everybody a tax break, whether or not they're going to put money back into the economy and help us create jobs.
Okay, second topic we want to discuss is whether President Obama was too hard or not hard enough on big business. This is what he said yesterday.
There's a big chunk of the country that thinks that I have been too soft on Wall Street. That's probably the majority, not the minority. Now, what I've tried to do is just try to be practical. It is a two-way street. If you're making $1 billion a year, after a very bad financial crisis where 8 million people lost their jobs and small businesses can't get loans, then I think that you shouldn't be feeling put upon.
Okay, we will start this time with Representative Capito. What do you think? Has the president been too hard on Wall Street?
Well, I think the financial reform bill that was passed was not hard enough on businesses that are too big to fail. We still have a backstop of a government bailout here. But, you know, I don't think that we need to vilify our financial institutions who are trying to get this economic engine moving. I think we did need more transparency and accountability, which is in the financial reform package, along with way too many other things.
All right, I'm not sure where you stand on that, but Ms. Wasserman Schultz, please, your response.
Again, this is about balance. Before President Obama took office, you basically had industry self-regulating. I sat on the Financial Services Industry Committee, and they took pride in the fact that they didn't need anyone minding the store, but you had the fox guarding the hen house. So we needed to make sure that we didn't allow too big to fail to occur again. We needed to make sure that we got some consumer protection in place, and we needed to make sure that we didn't have financial policy, just fiscal decision-making, run amok. So we applied a little bit of an emergency brake, made sure that we have some appropriate amount of regulation. We shouldn't be bashing or not bashing Wall Street. This is just making sure that we have appropriate regulation, strike the right balance, and make sure that there's some consumer protection in place, and that we don't have the rug pulled out from under our economy, which is exactly what happened after this collapse.
Are we out of time here, guys? Is that what I...
Yeah.
Ladies, thank you both very much. And by the way, I want to congratulate both of you for a minimum of political BS and a maximum of actually addressing the issues.
Thank you.
I personally appreciate
what happens
that.
when you get two women in a
Two ladies,
conversation.
yeah,
Right.
question about it. I think you're absolutely right.